What's up? What it do?
Hey.
We thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't hit subscribe, go ahead and invite a friend. It's me. I'm your main guy, Ty.
That's me.
And this my girl, Anita. And you know we keep it fly.
Hey.
We keep it clean, yeah, we keep it real nice.
Hey.
And when we get together, just know it's a real vibe.
That's right.
We're two people who do a lot of talking on topics that are relevant to your daily walking.
Sure.
Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hold on, Ty, wait. It's time for me to go.
Okay.
Chilling on the set with your main guy, Ty. We tell jokes, we love to laugh, you get a major high.
Hey.
Together we want to do some new things for you, so we hope that you enjoy watching season 2.
That's right.
Now you ain't gotta sit there like you on the fence, because we are the two that are talking with sense.
Three, two, and one.
Hey,
What's
thank you guys for
up?
joining us. It's so good to be back with
So
you all.
good to be back, man. I am so excited.
Good to see you.
Man, it's been such a long time. Man.
It has.
Oh,
It has.
goodness.
I can touch it. I can touch it. Oh my goodness. It's really good to be like right here, not talking to each other through video calls, Zoom, all that stuff like that. Oh my goodness.
It is so good. I feel so good, so excited about this season. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in, even on off season. We've been gone for a pretty good little time.
I know.
Good little minute. We sorry.
Too long, actually.
too
Too long. If
too
I
long.
must say so myself, too long, actually. But I mean, all of that wasn't due to reason of our own.
Right.
So, I mean, I will say we did do the little quarantine and everything before we got around each other.
We did.
To make sure that it was safe for us to be around each other and things like that. So,
Yeah. So, man, So, what's been going on?
living.
We gotta catch up. Oh well, I don't know.
Catch up.
We talk almost every day.
Just
but
about
still,
every day.
But it's different. Like it's a difference when we're together.
It is.
It's such a difference. I talk on the phone, but it's just not the same.
It is. It's not. It's really not the same. I don't know what it is about, being in the same space with someone versus, even the video calls just don't even suffice that much anymore now,
For
so
real. It's like the way of the world now, but
the way of the world. So I mean, collectively, all around the globe, everybody is experiencing this pandemic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's the debate on should I wear a face mask, should I not wear a face mask. To some degree, we are all being impacted by this pandemic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why not in today's show? In today's show, we're going to center it just around that. We're going to talk about the pandemic, but not in the way that you might be expecting. We're not going to sit up here and quote off numbers and give you the latest statistics and tell you which city is the hot city and things like that. We're not going to go that route. But instead, we're going to just kind of be candid with you all, just open up, be personal, and share our experience with this pandemic, how it has personally been impacting us.
Yes. And I'm going to start off because, as you know, I, working with the company that I work for, we had to actually transition to working from home. Now, if you know Ty, the main guy Ty, he's very a social guy. I'm very sociable. I love seeing people. I love talking to people. So working from home was like a dagger in my heart almost. Like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be working from home. I never was the one that wanted to work from home. We always had the option to work from home at my job, but it was never something that I wanted to do. I never wanted to work from home. So that first month was like, oh my gosh. I hated it, y'all. I hated it. I even had like some moments where I was just like, my production was going down at work. I wasn't, doing what I was supposed to be doing. Like it had got bad.
Kind of lost your motivation.
Yeah, I had lost my motivation. It was a lot that had happened, like just in my mind, because like I said, leaving the house was my getaway. It took my mind off of a lot of things, and so like being at home confined all day, not going anywhere, those thoughts were like all in my mind. Everything that I was thinking, going through, the things that I was thinking about, like stayed there. But going to work, it was like, I'm away from everything that I had going on at home. So working from home was like that number one thing that kind of impacted me, like almost for the worst.
Really?
It took a lot of praying. It took a lot of praying, a lot of talking to this girl right here, because it got to the point where I was like, I'm not even gonna tell her because she probably tired of hearing me complain about it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know it, but still, it just like I felt like that. Like I'm not gonna complain to her about working from home no more because that was like one of my main things.
But then it makes a lot of sense though. I mean, because and I hate that it seems like it always. Like I always go down this vein, but when we think about, us as beings, the 4 domains of our beings, and one of those being that social domain. Mm-hmm. And so with you being a social person, and then a part of that social, what keeps your social part just going, work was a part of that. And you being able to go to work and be around the people at work. So that was a part of like livelihood for you. So it's like when pulling you from that, and now it's just you almost kind of sort of like in seclusion, it starts to kill like that little piece of your domain. So I get that visual. I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie Inside Out. It's a little kid movie. It's so cool, little kid movie. But it's all about the brain and different parts of the brain and just how different things go together. But she got like all these little different islands and stuff, and how like when one shuts down and
I love that movie.
But how you being pulled from work, and it kind of like began to shut down the social domain of your being, and so it was taking an effect on you mentally.
It definitely did, but I'm good now, y'all. I'm almost like, look, when it's time to go back, I might not even want to go back to to be honest, I might even want to stay home.
Look, they letting people get too equipped to sitting around in these bathrobes. And so I don't sit around in a bathrobe. I don't even own a bathrobe, but I'm just saying,
Man, I'm telling you, like, I done got so used to that. I love the fact of being able to get up and, like, during lunchtime, go in there and cook real quick. I ain't got to worry about, like, at my job, we had a cafeteria. I didn't have to worry about going to the cafeteria and going and buy something. I can cook while I'm at home and clean up on my lunch break and stuff like that. So, I like it now. I'm loving it.
Answering phone calls while you...
Don't tell my business.
Oh, I was just playing. But talking to your callers while you sit up there...
Hold on real quick.
He just playing. He don't do that.
No,
he don't do
that. No, I don't do it.
But I know, for me, I will say when everything first kicked off, I was pleased for the slowdown. It was not really bothering me at all in the beginning. I think I was probably like one of the loudest ones in my circles, sounding off like, I'm good. Like this really it's not affecting me. It's not bothering me, because it gave me that opportunity to just slow down.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually like very, very fast paced. As you all know from season 1, I told you I have 4 children. And so like all 4 of them pulling me in 4 different directions, different activities, and so many different things. It's like I'm always going. And so I was very appreciative of the opportunity to be able to just stop and slow down and just actually get more in tune, really. Yeah. I think for me, over the years, I've learned how to manage that, how some people, they can't really do the whole being in the house and all that other type of stuff, and the cabin fever and all those things like that. Years past, I mean, I have had times where, having to be stuck in the house or something like that, it would have really, really bothered me. But just learning how to be resourceful and wise with that time, and just, you know, it just really wasn't bothering me at all. And so that's just where I was with it in the beginning.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Let me make sure, in the beginning.
And then look, I'm grateful for the slowdown too, because, you know, I've shared with you too. I'm like, man, since I've been in there, I don't be want to do nothing no more. Like, I just be going to chill at home. And
now I still keep busy. Still keep busy inside my house.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I'm saying I don't be want to go out nowhere. Like, I'd be like, man, I just want to stay in the house and do what I do here, because like I'm getting used to being, you know, slowing down and being at home. So yeah, I understand that whole slowdown, being able to slow down and just really have those moments where you can, you know, just think and, you know, do whatever it is that you need to do. Another one of mine was not being around my family. Man, I actually lost a cousin at the very beginning of everything.
Yeah.
And so, you know, not being able to go to her funeral, it kind of is like, man, because, you know, at the beginning,
I know that had to be tough.
Yeah,
you know?
It was like real strict, you know, a lot of, you know, small setting funerals and things like that. So it was like, it sucked not being able to be around my grandmother, my aunt, that was her granddaughter who passed away. You know, so it was like, man, you know, I hated not being able to be around my family. And then the holidays, you know, going past, and you can't have those barbecues and things like that. You know, that kind of like was one of those things that, you know, I hate that I couldn't, you know, do. So not being able to be around my family was one of the another one of the things that was tough. Has been tough. It still is tough.
Yeah.
Because, you know, holidays just passed now, and it's like, man, you can't be around your family. But that was another one.
That's been tough for me as well.
Yeah.
You know, especially like here where we are, as far as family goes, it's just myself and my children. Of course, we have like a very huge family of choice. You know, that's the family that you get to choose. Like, these are the people who are my family. So I have a lot of brothers and sisters, and I even have moms and a dad, and you know, family that we choose to be around. But my heart still, you know, misses my family.
Yeah.
And so just not having family here that, you know, even if I wanted to be like, you know what, I've been staying in the house, they've been staying in the house, let me go visit them real quick. You know, I think right about now I would love to even be able to do something like that, you know. And then just seeing like, or even just hearing about other people here who have family here, you know, them being able to, they can jump in the car and go across town or whatever and sneak a visit real quick and everything be good. And so, you know, I love my kids. I love being around my kids, but still at the same time, my heart misses my family.
Yeah, definitely. And I had to do like a little quick, like, social distance stop by with my grandmother. You know, I miss my grandmother, and I hadn't been seeing her. And we do but one thing that has happened, you know, missing family and everything, we have started like a Zoom call every other week. So I've been enjoying that, because I have like aunts and uncles that live on the West Coast, you know, Midwest, and so it's good to do that. It's a good substitute. It's good for its intended purpose, you know, to pull us together in times when we can't be together. So it definitely does serve that purpose. Right. So I'm loving that. So I get to see my grandmother when she do join, because you got to tell her about 2 weeks ahead. Because if you tell her like the night of or the day of, I ain't got time for that. I ain't getting on that. I ain't planning to get on that.
So if y'all meet every other week, then you have to tell her that when y'all ending that call, now grandma, you know we doing this in the next 2 weeks.
Right. Like, we got it this coming Friday, so I'm gonna have to tell her probably Monday, like, grandma, don't forget, Friday we gonna get on the Zoom call now.
Set your alarm. Go ahead and set you an alarm in your phone now, grandma.
Because she do not be, she like, when she get on that, she don't have no attitude, but you know, you just gotta prepare her.
Right. I get that. I'm that type of person too. I have to be mentally prepared for stuff. You know, it's only certain things that I'm okay with, you know, adjusting at the last minute, but for the most part, I kind of like to be mentally prepared for stuff. If it's not like an emergency, I'm not so quick to be like, okay, let me just jump and do.
Right.
But I know for me, like I said, when all of this stuff first started, I was one of the people, I was like, man, you know, this is not the time to experience the loss of a loved one or to have someone in the hospital during this time, because, you know, like it started out like no more than 10 people and all this other type of stuff. Well, during this pandemic, my father died. And so that was a really, really hard hit for me. Just one, it was during that time when there could be no more than 10 people gathered together. And so I just went through a wide range of emotions during that time. I mean, it's already a very intense time for anyone, period. Yeah. But then just the fact that, you know, now it's happening during this pandemic, so that made it a little bit worse for me. Just like I said, not being able to be with family the way that we wanted to. And so, I mean, I dealt with a lot of different emotions and stuff. I remember during that time, the one thing that I wanted the most was just to be able to have a hug. But this being the time when people don't even want to get together to hug. So, like, there wasn't many hugs coming. And I'm not even really a hugging person, but when my dad died, like, I wanted a hug. Yeah. Just wanting to be able to just, like, now, like, I want to be around my family now, like, and just not being able to be there. And it was tough even planning his funeral arrangements, because even with that, there were so many adjustments that had to be made because of the pandemic. And so just having to decide, like, how are we going to do this for my father? Me wanting as many people as possible to be able to see him, because a lot of people loved him, you know, and I just wanted everyone to be able to have the opportunity to see him one last time. So, not being able to do like the service the way that we normally would do a funeral service, because it only would have been 10 people that could have been there. So I was like, okay, well, that's out, because, you know, mind you, I sent my father's body to Tuscaloosa, where we're from. And so the whole purpose of making sure that his body is there is for the maximum number of people to be able to see him. Yeah. So 10 people wouldn't have worked. And then, you know, it was just so many other different, like, things and all this other type of stuff. And so just the way that we ended up having to do everything, you know, it was the best that we could do for all circumstances being considered. But then still at the same time, you know, just me dealing with the fact of, like, man, you know, it was like the small piece that was like, my father couldn't even have the homegoing celebration that most people would get, which I know, of course, it's not my father. He doesn't care. He's dead and gone. But still, it's just that part that's like, man, you know, I couldn't even give him the homegoing celebration that most people would get. Right.
Yeah. I hated that. That was, you know, being around you and just seeing everything, you know, you processing everything. It was hard to see, definitely. And he's definitely gonna be missed. You know?
He's missed every day.
Yeah, I'm thinking about him when we were recording, and we had. If you all watched the movie episode, we had to stop a few times because he came in while we were recording. So, you know, it was good. You know,
really good. I miss my father.
Yeah. So one of my last things that kind of affected me during this pandemic was not going to church. Now, let's be clear. I understand that the church is in you. Mm-hmm. You know, we are the church. But actually going to the building was what was a part of my growth. You know, me being a better Christian. Right. You know, so like going to the building, seeing my brothers and sisters was what I needed. You know, you know, and so like not being able to go to church, oh my goodness, not being able to fellowship. Is praise and worship. You know, I praise and worship at home all the time.
The entire experience.
Yeah, you know, praise and worship. You know, just everything. You know, being inside of the building during the message, and you know, you just doing your amen, and who can do the most amens. It seems like.
Well, I don't get into all that.
You know what I'm saying? It just
I mean, not like a competition like that.
I know it ain't a competition, but it just seemed like, you know.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's good. Oh, yeah, preach. Come on, man of God. Come on, woman of God. You know?
If I'm saying it is because something actually hit me at that time. It's not because I don't get caught up in the whole, you know, I don't know how to play the church stuff. You know how people just say, no, if I'm saying, no.
Hallelujah. But, you know, I just miss even that. Even, you know, one of our sisters in the church, you know, I sat next to her often. So, like, if I can just say something as simple as, amen, and then she'll just look at me, oh, you just so extra. She did. So I miss that stuff, you know?
I mean, we can't underestimate the value of fellowship.
Right.
I mean, of course, like you said earlier, you said, yes, the church is in us, and the church is in us. We're living it right now. We are experiencing that right now, where the church has to be in us. If it's not in you, then you probably somewhere lost right now. But at the same time, you cannot underestimate the value of being able to talk with your brothers and sisters in Christ after service, before service, whatever. Like you said, that growth. We help each other to grow. We need each other to survive and to thrive in this thing. And so it's missed. I mean, altar calls, like, oh my God. I mean, of course, the prophet can speak at any time, but I mean, it's
it's just different.
Yes, don't get me wrong. We come for the word. We come for our souls to be fed. But then there is so much more that we come for other than just the word. And I feel you on that altar call, because, you know, the man of God can give a word, you know, at any given moment, you know, and so just missing being able to have that, you know, have that feel, and just, you know, the playfulness that we did, you know, with each other after church. I miss that, you know, because we had church after church sometimes. Right. It's like, you know, all of this seems to be putting so much space and distance, but I think, you know, with the love that we all have for each other, it will still, you know, it'll pull us right back together once we see each other again. So.
And we have been keeping up. Thank God, you know, they have the Zoom call with the church and things like that. So, you know, that's
thankful for technology.
Yeah, still staying connected. So that's a good thing, you know. Thankful for technology. Technology is good. We got Facebook, Instagram, all these social sites. So, you know, we can still keep in contact, just not in the physical. Right.
But I know, and just also missing. I just kind of like cut you the whole. Talking about church, and I'm about to sit up here and just switch it all.
Switch it up. You're crazy.
But the whole being pampered, like getting the hair done, getting nails done, getting toes done, getting waxing, all that other type of stuff. You know, of course, we make adjustments. We do what we got to do. We can take care of all this stuff at home. I mean, of course, I can get some fingernail polish and polish my own nails, polish my toenails. I can braid my hair down like Cleo and set it off and put a wig on my head, you know, something like that. I can do all these things, of course. But for me, a part of my self-care is being able to sit in somebody's chair and have somebody else provide these services for me. So although you hear a lot of people say, well, you can comb your own hair, you can paint your own nails, you can do all, of course, okay, we can do all these things. And trust me, during this pandemic, we've been having to learn how to do these things. I mean, if you don't know how to do them, learning. But we've been maintaining and doing these things. But as far as just sitting back, relaxing, that self-care, that pampering, and just basking in the ambiance.
Right.
I miss going and having these services done. Now, of course, they open back up. They open up now, but I just don't feel comfortable yet.
Yeah. Well, I can say, I have been a couple times to get my hair cut. But not. But now. I was like, I just haven't been going as much. The first time I went was my birthday. So my birthday passed. May 23rd was my birthday. So I just had to do something. I didn't do nothing, but I'm gonna get my hair cut because it had been 2 months when I had got my hair cut then. So I was like, I gotta get my hair cut for my birthday. So I went that one time, then I probably went like one more time after that, but I haven't been back because it's like, why? You know, I know I want to keep myself looking nice and groomed, but it's just like, what's the point of getting a haircut? Because, you know, my whole point of, you know, trying to, you know, going back to like what I was talking about, you know, going into work, I used to love looking nice, going to work, dressing up every day. So, you know, getting my haircut every week was a part of my thing because I wanted my haircut to look matching with what I had on or whatever. So
look nice.
Yeah, I want to look nice. So I haven't been back in a few weeks. So I miss that. I miss getting my haircut, man, because my barber, she do all the whole little deep, you know, I get my massage on my head. I be going to sleep. You know, I miss all of that. I miss it, man. I just miss it all. So I don't go often now because it's no need. But my barber, she is taking like the necessary precautions that she needs to take. But I miss it, man. I miss it. I want to go get a pedicure. Can't do it. Well, I can, but I just rather not. I'd rather not do it because, like you said.
And that's the thing. You know, it's not that we can't because, of course, the officials and those that are appointed over us, they have opened things back up and, you know, basically free as a bird, do what you want to do type of thing, really. Right. But it's just at what risk, or do I want to? And so it's just really weighing the cost of everything versus.
Right. So as we get ready to end this, I want to ask you. So, what have since this has been going on? What have you gained? What have you learned? Like, what's something that you found out maybe that you would want to share? Like, what is something that you could probably share that you learned in this whole experience?
There are so many things that I have learned throughout this time, but I will say the most pressing thing that I have learned throughout this whole pandemic, when we weigh in every different domain, the most pressing thing that I have learned is cherish your family.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Cherish family. Because me not being able to be around my family right now at a time that I would really like to be around my family, it's a feeling that you can't even describe. Yes. It's almost a feeling as if you're trapped and being held at your will type of thing. Yeah. Just prior to all of this, having every opportunity to be able to see my family as often as I want to, but not ever really going to see my family. You know, I can't even really tell you how often I see them or how often they get to see me, you know, just for whatever reason. But now, just especially with my dad being gone, you know, just really, I just say cherish family. Cherish family, you know, because like my heart just really, really misses my family right now.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, me personally, I have learned to be content. I have learned to be content in whatever state I am in, because things can just change like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so this pandemic has taught me to be content. And I always used to say, I'm content. But this pandemic has showed me, like, nah, bro, you ain't content for real.
And I think at some point, you know, all of us, especially those of us who call ourselves believers, I think at some point we actually get tested in that space right there, because that is something that we have to know how to do as believers. Yes. We have to know how to be content in the state in which we're in. And that doesn't mean that, okay, I'm settling in this space forever. But it just means that while we're in this season, you have to learn how to be content in that season. Because each season is brought about to produce something in us. Yeah,
it definitely is. But I'm grateful for even getting that nugget of, you know, because, you know, things can change. So be content, bro. Just be content.
Be content.
That's all you can do. Well, we thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Excited.
It was so good.
We're ready for you to see what we have in store for you all this season. It's going to be a very good one.
And just remember, we're all doing the best that we can in the times that we are in. These are very tough and challenging times for everyone, but just know that we are not alone. in this thing.
That's right. And make sure you're doing everything you need to do to stay safe. Wear your mask, keep your hands clean, all that good stuff. Well, we will talk with you next time on what?
Talking with Sense. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode. Don't forget, every Thursday we go live for the after show. So this is where we get together with you all on Facebook Live or Instagram Live and talk about the episode that we did on Tuesday. So follow us on Thursday evenings, 7 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and Instagram so we can chat it up with you all about Tuesday's episode. Talk with you then on Talking with Sense.
Wait. Do not leave until you subscribe. Subscribe right now.